Alright everybody, so this is going to be a quick video for anybody that's new to MyFaction whenever the game comes out tomorrow, I do believe, on Friday, and or if you have been playing the faction mode, and you honestly know that they have a brand new world tour that they have in this mode. In a sense, it's basically a set of matches that you do in certain areas that you have to beat your opponents and have certain challenges that you got to do. And the one that seems to be the most difficult, as you can see, I still have Dallas to do, but this will be a complete breeze compared to New York. Now, the first two, not really that bad. You have your certain match types and your certain tag teams. The second one, again, table. You can easily just lift up your opponent, bring him over to the ropes, and just toss him over. That's not a big issue, especially these tag team matches, because your opponent will be focusing on the other tag team partner, and you can just do the rest. Here's where it gets ridiculous. Best in the world. House rules. Punk insists on keeping you in the ring, away from the ropes, and moving slowly. He's eliminated recovery periods and flashy moves, as my phone goes off, as well as heavy hitters and your most experienced stars. So you have a one-on-one Ironman match, and then one-on-one again, and then you have this one, which is a Divas match. Now, obviously, whenever you do this, you cannot use any of your top cards, okay? And you have to use your gold cards. And the thing about this is, you're barely doing any damage, as you guys will see. I'll show you guys an example. Before, you can use Rey Mysterio because he does have Dive Bomber badge. Whenever he does a middle rope attack, that increases the aerial attack damage, because of course you can get on the top rope. But I will show you here. The rule changes, of course. The stipulations, you cannot use any paybacks, you cannot dive from the top rope, you cannot leave the ring, and you cannot perform finishers or signatures, and of course you cannot run. And with this one's against Kofi, so, and you can't use like any cards with certain badges. So let me just show you guys here real quick. Usually the preferred method was to make Kofi get his limbs down to red, but there's an easy workaround to this for this particular one. Now what you want to do, you want to drag your opponent in the corner, and then you want to target the ref by pressing the R3 button. That will target him, and then you just want to Irish whip the referee into the corner onto the opponent here, because what that will do, after you do it maybe 15 times, maybe? I think it's around like 15 to 20 times, because it takes a while for the ref to do a disqualification. Hence I say disqualification. What does that mean? Well, the ref is bumping into the opponent, so in theory it's acting like the opponent is attacking the ref. So after maybe 15 to 20 times, the referee will call for the bell for a disqualification, and then that's how you win your match. It's the easiest way, because See, he doesn't do anything there. So you want to grab the ref, bring him back to the ring, and Irish whip him. And you don't want to like pick him up either, because if you pick him up, then he's not going to do the animation where he calls for the bell. But again, this is going to take like maybe a good 15-20 times, as you guys will see here. Like whenever you're trying to take out Kofi Kingston, for instance, you're barely doing any damage just because you have a gold card. And he's I believe a sapphire. Then obviously you're not going to do a lot of damage, and you can't really do finishers, you can do signatures. The only way that you can really defeat him the normal way is if you get his body all the way down to red on all his limbs. And then you just do middle rope attacks, because the dive bomber... Oh, here's those. The dive bomber badge does extra damage. So that's originally how you would be able to do it, but you would have to do like a roll-up pin, and the ref has to be pretty close to you so he doesn't take forever to count the pin, and then that's how you get the victory. I did that the first time when I was doing this, but whenever I did the second match, which was the Natalya match, because she's actually a Ruby card. She's I do believe like an 84. And then of course you're using a gold card. Well, you're barely going to do a lot of damage, and it's going to take a long ass time to get that match completed. So we just keep doing this over and over. Eventually, after a good 15-20 times, he will call for the bell. And I don't think, as I'm recording this on a Thursday, the day before the game comes out, for all the standard edition players, I don't think they patched this, so you can still do this while you can. But the only way to unlock the New York World Tour arc, you have to do a couple other things. You have to go through the rest of the World Tour. You have to go through those, and eventually you unlock New York. And this one is the hardest one, hence a 5-star difficulty rating. The last two matches, you know, you have this match here, you have Natalya, and then you have Luke Gallows, which that's an Iron Man match. So if you're trying to do it legitly, well, you have 15 minutes to try to get a pinfall on. But with this method here, I was able to get maybe 2 pinfalls on Luke Gallows. And then see, there you go, right there. So now he calls for the bell because the ref ran into Kofi Kingston, so hence I got the victory. So that's the easiest way to complete this best in the world set of matches, because this is the hardest one to do. Again, this one is a Natalya match. Really difficult, because with your gold cards or whatever card that you use, you can use any card doing this method. You can use a bronze if you really wanted to, even though I wouldn't recommend it just in case, because you can really get damage and then you can lose that pinfall. So that's not a recommendation. Maybe a silver to a gold. Match 3, of course, is that Luke Gallows match, and then the reward that you get is the Sapphire Natalya. And then match 4 and 5, it's pretty much the same deal as the first one. The only thing that they change is you have no HUD, and I do believe Punk does more damage, because this is the current era Punk, and then the 2010 Punk is right here. Once you complete those, then you get American Nightmare. This is way more smoother than the best in the world, just because you can actually use your sapphires and your rubies to an extent. The only tough one I do believe is the War Games. That took me quite a while because of the cards that I had. I could not use any of these cards because they blocked out cards that had certain badges attached to them. So I was able to get that done. Your 8-man normal tag, that's pretty easy. A ladder tag match, I mean, if you just stock up a signature and you're pretty good at the QTEs, you can get the first QTE done, and then on the second one, just use your signature, and then you just gotta pray on the last one that you grab that briefcase. The Gala Eliminator, really easy. You just let the other opponents do the work, and this is when you're going against Amethyst. So you're going against like 89 overalls, and then of course your 5th match is the Ironman match. That's against Cody Rhodes. That was a doozy because that was literally 6-5. I was able to beat him just enough to get this one complete, and then I was able to get the Cody Rhodes there. So pretty self-explanatory. Grab your opponent, put him into the corner, grab the referee by pressing R3. That's where you're going to target him. And then you want to Irish whip the referee into the opponent. Do that a good 15 times, 10 to 15, maybe 20. And then you will get the disqualification victory, and then you can just do that for the rest of them. And then you can easily complete that, because I don't know what 2K was thinking, but they definitely made this one way too fucking hard. Way too fucking hard, because that is completely unnecessary. The other tough one is the Chicago one. That one is pretty difficult when it does the better than you, because that is a 5-star difficulty. So this one took a lot to do, but it wasn't too bad. But all I got left is the Dallas one, and then I get the Ultimate Warrior. Then I can finally move on to Faction Wars, which I need to grab the Cody Rhodes card that's in here. I do believe the Cody Rhodes that I do want to get is the next gen Cody Rhodes, because with this one he has, what is it, the purple Ironheart. Recover from damage when you pull off a finisher, so you'll get extra health. And always see it coming in blue. You gain special when you reverse an opponent's attack, so definitely get this card. The only way to get this is in the Faction Wars, but I don't recommend doing Faction Wars until you have a whole deck of Ruby cards like I do. That's the only way I recommend you doing this. This Punk 10 is pretty good as well, because he does have the always see it coming as well. He gains special doing that, so that's really a good one to have, which I'll probably use him for the majority of the Faction Wars until I get that Cody Rhodes. So yeah guys, that is pretty much the end of the video. I know a lot of people have difficulty with that when it comes to that New York Best in the World challenge, because you literally are using golds. You cannot move, you can't use finishers, you can't use signatures, you can't get on the top rope, you can't run, and you're going against 78, 84, 89 overall cards. Like, it's really ridiculous in how they set that up, but that's the easiest way to do it. So that's it for me. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll try to answer the best I can. Everyone that's getting the game tomorrow, hope you guys have a really good time with the game. It's really fun so far. I've been mainly sticking to Faction Wars and the MyFaction here, because I want to stay on top of this because of their Persona cards that they have. Of course, there's a couple of Persona cards that I'm still missing that they have out available. The one I'm missing is, of course, the prototype Persona card. I need to get a Booker T That's the only one I need to get, is that Booker T, in which I don't think he's actually in the card market at all. I do not believe so. Yeah, see, he's not in there. So I just have to like randomly pull him from a Legends pack, which I'll probably buy some Legend cards and some Legend packs, because this is still here for a day and 11 hours. So definitely recommended to get those if you ever want to put VC into the game. But again, I'm out of here. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys on the next one.